How's it going, guys? It's Poetry Son, and welcome back to the episode of the European Universalis 4 Ethiopia campaign, where things are going alright. We need to make sure we are jumping on these opportunities, and we're still... Oh, lordy, that's more armies than I was expecting. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But yeah, we're here at war, and seems to be going fine. If you don't know, the past couple of episodes we've been, I've been sort of rambling about stuff. Today I have a different topic. I mean, this is right after I end the last episode. So, I've been rambling about, my interest in linguistics, language in general, my thoughts on language learning, my thoughts on, plotting your course through life. If you're a younger person like me who doesn't know what the heck you want to do with your life, I kind of had some advice in the last episode, which is basically, try to find something to put it off longer with grad school. No, I mean, that's not for everyone, obviously. In fact, I want to take a second to say, I'm a huge fan of higher education and a proponent of it, but I do not think that college is for all people, and don't let anyone tell you that you need a college degree to succeed. I like my college degrees, right? And I think they've helped me with what I want to do. But I think that if someone tells you you need to go to college to find a successful career, to do something you want to do, no, don't listen to them. If you want to become a specific field, right? Like a astrophysicist, you probably do need to go to school then, right? But there's a lot of paths through life that can get you to where you're going to be. And I'm very young. I'm not really the person you should listen to about this. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But that's my view, right? That's at least my perspective is, and I've heard other people say it too. And this is something I guess that my mom kind of ingrained in me too. My mom would always tell me as a kid, here, I'll tell you basically the whole saying that she told me. Basically, she was like, college is not a requirement, but here's the deal. If you want to go to college, you're going to have to work your ass off in high school, academically speaking, because I do not have money to pay for you to go to college, which is true. I cannot complain about my upbringing. I love both my parents. I was certainly not in a... I come from a middle class, but it's certainly probably on the lower end of middle class. I can't complain and say that I had any troubles. I would never went hungry, right? But I also was. I'm not. I don't know. I try to be gracious for what I have. But I certainly am not was not rich growing up, right? And my mom made that very clear. If you want to go to college, you're going to have to earn it either through money or academically. So yeah, and so my mom made that clear. She's like, you don't need to go to college. You can do plenty of other paths that will get you more money than, well, honestly, probably the path I'm doing now, right? If we're being honest. So first off, let me just say that don't let anyone tell you need to go to college to be successful, right? You might need it for what you want to do, but you don't need it to be successful, or to even just be a happy human being, in my opinion. And yeah, this is already a tangent, but my sister, she has taken a much different course in her life than I have, but I'm very proud of her. I have a younger sister by 3 years. Right, so when I was, so 3 years younger means that, and living in the same area, the same house, living together, obviously. Then, what that means is this is what we wanted. We went to the same high school, but we were only together for about for 1 year. Right, the tail end of my school was the beginning end of hers, and then I went straight into college, and she was going through high school and stuff. So I wasn't seeing her every day or anymore or whatever, but I was still living at home during the summer and stuff, and I'm pretty close to her. Speaking of which, I need to send her a text sometime soon. See how she's doing with all the craziness in the world right now. But yeah, she she's gone through a much different path in life than me, and I'm very proud of her for basically being willing to forge her own path, her own success. Because essentially for her, she hates school, and that's why I'm saying, like, you know, that's especially since I know someone very well. I have a family member who basically hates school, whereas I love school. It shows, you know, there can be a great difference in perspective on this. Oh no, Makro, what are you doing? What is you doing, baby? And like starting her junior year of high school, my sister actually decided to switch from doing normal schooling to doing charter school. She found out about a charter school program that my district had, where essentially charter school has a lot of different perspectives. I'm going to make this clear because I know charter school is a somewhat ambiguous term. It can mean different things based on where you are, because it's basically just a school chartered for a specialized purpose, right? Lots of people, when they think of charter school, they think that means like a private school. That is not what the case is. In this case, it could be sometimes. In the case of this charter school, it basically was a school set up for people who, in general, normally just did not fit well in a normal school setting. People who had, you know, like disabilities, people who are literally already working full time to take care of family members, people who are in hard positions like that, right? And so in general, it was not like a privilege like private school is. That's actually the opposite. People basically who are willing to put in the effort to do their education on their own terms. It's mostly online, right? And more specialized to deal with those situations. We should be doing more taxes, by the way. And so my sister applied to this because there's not really any limits, and it's a very small charter school. It's only like, I think, like 100 kids, as opposed to a normal high school in my district being around 2,000 kids. And so my sister applied to this and started doing this her junior year of high school, and was very, I think, very happy with it. And it basically fit her personal needs, and started, she started working full time, and was basically working full time, doing school part time. And I mean, if you've been through high school, you know that lots of times you have just have busy work. Lots of times you could probably do a lot of the stuff online, right? And at the same time, like, she really started learning valuable skills. Like, she was doing like food service work, but what's interesting is she basically found a position. She worked at as a waitress at one normal place, like a restaurant, for a while. But then she found she started figuring out what she liked. She actually didn't mind doing like hospitality and food work. She started actually applying to or she found a position at a assisted living home, actually, as a food server there. And eventually became like the lead server for her shift. And like, she's only 17 and basically has basically an assistant manager position at this, because they didn't really have assistant managers. She essentially was running a lot of the stuff as a 17-year-old, right? And bought her own car that she paid for like completely on her own. She didn't pay for it all at once. She was doing payments, right? But had car insurance. I am 3 years older than her, and this was 3 years ago, really. I still don't have a car. She's basically like leaps and bounds ahead of me, right? To give you perspective of why I don't think college is necessary. This is a perfect example. And that's what I mean when I'm really proud of my sister for figuring out her own path. And now I think she has said that she might go back to school for like hospitality or something. Because that is, I think, what she likes to do, stuff like that, interacting with people and stuff. But at the same time, you know, she's been able to figure out her path, and she's very ambitious, right? She certainly is not afraid to blaze her own path. She, for instance, decided one day. Well, okay. Let me do this piece deal, and then we'll continue talking. Hopefully, you guys don't mind me just rambling about my personal life. I think it's, you know, it's interesting because it is in the context of this idea, right? Of having, like, you know, what is the value of school, like a language in my degree, what is my degree worth, why am I doing my schooling, you know, it's stuff I want to talk about. And right now we're just doing this word for people who might just be listening like, what the heck is going on in the game, dude? I'm listening, and I can't watch, but I'm listening. what do you do in the game? Well, to give you an idea, right now we're basically just waiting till Sind or Yemen get too sick of this war and will give me everything I want. So, anyways. So anyways, like one day, my about a year ago, my sister essentially went on like she quit her job because I guess she kind of wanted to change her direction and stuff, and basically had saved up a bunch of money, decided to go on like a month-long vacation to Puerto Rico, right? And my sister, so if you don't know, the reason that I speak Spanish and the reason that I study Spanish is largely attributable to my dad. He is actually a Spanish teacher, and none of us are like heritage speakers, so to speak. We're all gringos, but we but in a lot of my family a lot of us speak, and not just my direct family, a lot of my extended family speaks Spanish as a second language. And if you might have a guess why, and I've talked about it before in some videos and streams, but let's just say, like, to give you a hint before I reveal the answer, it has to do with the fact that most of my family lives in Colorado and Utah. And if that doesn't give it away, it's because my family's Mormon. And if you don't know much about Mormonism, I like how this is like 3 tangents away from what we started talking about. It's fine. If you don't know much about Mormonism, you might not know that Mormonism is very evangelical. Most Mormons are expected, or at least males, especially. And by the way, I don't consider myself Mormon, so you feel free to talk shit about Mormons in the comments. I will not be offended. I have lots of, like, most of my family's Mormon, but I'm not. I don't consider myself Mormon. But anyway, so if you don't know much about Mormons, they serve missions, right? Every Mormon man, especially when they come of age, is supposed to essentially serve 2 years trying to convert people to the faith in a random location, basically chosen for them. However, the countries outside of the U.S. where Mormonism is most popular is largely like Central and South America, and I think a lot of that is to do with doctrinal similarities with Catholicism. So anyways, Mormonism is fairly popular. I mean, still not nearly as popular as Catholicism, but it's fairly popular in like Mexico and Argentina and other places. So there's a lot of Mormons that get sent to those places as a result of that, and because the infrastructure is already there and stuff, the churches have already been built and everything, and so a lot of my family has been sent there. My dad he served his mission in Guatemala, and with that, let's see, I'm actually gonna peace out here and just take this because we're gonna feed Hadramut. We just want to get aboard with Hadramut for Mahra, although you could technically, I guess we could have given it to them even without that, but Mamluks. Okay, so that's a problem. I'm not gonna take that then. Still a problem? Really? Wow. You guys really don't like me then. How about this then? It sucks, but shoot. I really want to take this though. You know what? I guess yeah. Technically, we don't need this, and it's a bit more, right? All right, let's do it. Oh wait. Okay, I can handle that. Let's just take what we have claims on, and not even all of what we have claims on, but anyways, no, actually, don't revoke those. That's a bad idea, because if they keep the claims, the cores, they're more likely to not ally Mamluks, so we don't want them to ally Mamluks. So because my dad speaks Spanish from his mission, he actually taught it to me when I was a baby. My parents tried to teach me Spanish before English, right? And if you are a person who like has learned a second language, is like, oh, I want to teach that to my kid, you probably know that it's a lot harder than that sounds. And I mean, I'm not speaking from experience. I don't have any kids, but like I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason my parents gave up. But I think if you're like a bilingual person, it's probably a lot easier. We're about to go with Hajram, by the way. Oh, fudge. At least we have coffee, which is going to help with our institution bonus. But yeah, so my, due to my father being a, and you, Hadramut, really, wow. Due to my dad teaching me Spanish and stuff, it's always going to be part of my life, and that explains a lot of my interest. But my sister has never really gotten the same interest to the level, I guess, that I have. Never been as interested. But in recent years has had a little more interest, and so she went on like a month-long vacation, and she understands a bit, like she can kind of get by in conversation, and she hears a bit, and certainly now, after what I'm about to tell you, because basically, she decided that these guys are broken, I think. She decided she wanted to go on like a month-long vacation to Puerto Rico. She was like staying at hostels and stuff, and then she actually literally was like, I want to stay longer. She didn't, but she just quit her job. She found work at one of the hostels she's staying at temporarily, and then found like a permanent job as a scuba diver instructor, right? And basically just like what was like, okay, well, I'm gonna live in Puerto Rico now. Like, why not, right? And when I found that out, like I didn't even know for like a month that she was staying there, and I was like, basically like, what in the world? Like, you're crazy in a great way. I was like, I respect that a lot. I do not, well, for one, I have student bills and other things, but even if I didn't, I do not think I don't think I'm that brave, right? So, anyways, all that to say, there's, you can find a lot of paths through life. I don't think college is necessary at all. I know plenty of people who are very successful and who never went to college at all. I know people who've dropped out and then been successful and been fine. Yeah. But this was all, related. This all was because I was talking about language and stuff. And to kind of pull it back to that, taking these courses, even though I don't think, this was kind of why I said this at the start. I don't think, I want to preface this by saying I don't think, I was going to say, I don't think language is necessary for success. Well, that's probably not true, but I don't think college is necessary for success. But if you find something that you really like studying in a college setting, then I think it can be really awesome. And for me, I've really, really loved taking language courses, taking linguistic courses and stuff. And it has really affected my perspective about a lot of things. For instance, one thing that a lot of things that are common in a language classroom versus a linguistics classroom, right? Because they are not one and the same, obviously. But like a language classroom, right? Most language classes are taught by educated speakers of that language, right? If you think about like in a English, even if not a foreign language class, right? I'm talking about any type of language class. So like if you're in high school English, right, in America, where English is the de facto language, right? It's not, we don't have an official language for the country, but and there's English classes are required. Or language arts, whatever you call it, right? We're gonna start making a lot more money, by the way. And so when you have we want to state all these realistically, even this one at some point. We already did. Okay, good. We definitely want to promote Yemeni. Oh, we should also, we should definitely promote Nubian as well. And we could cover all that, but yeah, we have 5 slots. Nubian, do Yemeni. There you go. That'll help a lot with money and other stuff as well. So, yeah, when you're in like a language classroom, if you had an English teacher, right, a lot of what English teachers do, and I'm assuming this is the same if you're French and in a French classroom, or if you're Romanian in a Romanian classroom. A lot of what, basically all that those classes is teaching you prescriptive norms, and this is kind of I'm getting a little more technical than I don't know, should get. But in a linguistic, I mean, the idea of prescriptivism is used in other things too. But in linguistics, there's a big thing with how linguists should not be prescriptivists, they should be descriptivists. We should not seek to... that's a really good one, actually. We should not seek to prescribe the norms of a language, but rather just describe how is it actually being used. And this is something that has really changed my perspective on these things. Because if you're in an English classroom or a Spanish classroom, and whether this is as a foreign language or whether this is as a primary language for you, the teachers are, in general, unless they're a linguist probably, going to basically tell you, no, that's incorrect, you should speak this way. A lot of times, even if it is something that people say, right? And a common example of this would be like with a lot of types of like Southern English and stuff, right? And sometimes even in the South, which is where I grew up. Why does this keep breaking? That's very strange. People would be like, a lot of people in the South will say like I don't need none, right? I don't need none, doing like a double negative. That's a very common thing you might hear, right? And English teachers will be like, oh, like that's incorrect. But at the same time, native speakers of English say that, right? It is a thing that people say. So under like the prescriptive norms, yeah, it is incorrect. But if you're being if you're being a linguist, you would say, no, it's just a different variety of English. It's just like you could use the word dialect, but that has a lot of negative connotations, depending on the language and how you use that word. So in general, people try to call it a variety of language, right? A variety of human language, not any specific language necessarily, but a variety of the human language, which is, a unique phenomenon in the animal kingdom. So anyways, tell you what, I've had like 4 videos in a row. This is the 3rd video. I've had like 4 videos. It will be probably where I'm just going to be rambling about linguistic things and other things, life topics, right? But I'm on a good roll, and it's like 1 in the morning, and I'm just kind of letting it loose, and hopefully you guys enjoy. So tell you what, we're going to wrap up this episode here, and we'll come back next time, and we'll talk more about prescriptivism. Oh, so interesting. Now, hopefully you guys are not minding too much. We are getting stuff done in the game, by the way. It's just right now, I think we're kind of in a slow time where we're kind of waiting for the Mamluks to not want to kill us at every turn. All right. If you guys have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.